Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Talking Movies podcast. I know it's been a while. This is episode 3. Um, we're going to be trying to do better on the podcast from
One
here
per
on
month.
out. One per month. Well, we did two weeks in a row, and that was good. But then I just kind of stopped. But we have good reason for our podcast today, and can you tell us that reason?
Yeah, the trailer for Spider-Man's coming out tomorrow. We're all really excited about it.
Yeah, we're going to have like speculation. We're going to have rumors. What do
Yeah,
we think will be in that trailer? Oh, also,
yeah.
the Avengers trailer dropped.
Also, the Godzilla trailer is dropping tomorrow.
Oh, is it really?
Tomorrow's Sunday, I believe. So that'll be fun too.
Wait, no.
But yeah,
What? Is the Godzilla trailer really coming out tomorrow?
yeah.
Oh, cool. I'm excited about that. I literally
Yeah,
did
me
not
too.
know. That's
Me
awesome.
too. Also, this thing called Avengers came out today.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what that is?
I think I do. Honestly, I was contemplating not watching this trailer. I was so close, and I have not seen it yet as of right now. Brandon has seen it.
Yes, I
And
have.
I thought for the sake of content, I'm going to watch this trailer. Because usually I don't like watching trailers. So today
Now,
we are
okay,
going to be
so
watching the Avengers Endgame trailer. I do know the title.
what else do you know?
I know the first shot of the trailer.
Okay,
don't
so you
know-
don't know anything else.
I don't know if people have been liking it. I don't know what the Twitter reactions are. I've been staying off. I don't
You
know.
don't know
what to
any
expect at all.
surprises that we've seen in the trailer. Like you don't know any characters that pop up in it.
You know, I kind of want to
that.
predict because I know we were talking about just on our own earlier about Captain Marvel, and I don't think Captain Marvel is going to be in this trailer. I think they're
Okay.
going to hold off on that. I do think. Here's another thing that I was thinking about earlier: is are we going to see Cap and Tony Stark together in this trailer?
Okay.
I don't think we're going to see that either. I think it's
Okay,
going to be mainly a bunch of character shots of different characters in the movie, and that will be mostly it.
Okay, I will say this.
Don't say
There's
anything. We're about to watch the
there's-
trailer.
there's two characters. I want you to guess. There's two characters that pop up in this trailer that I think are surprising. Who do you
Okay.
think those two are?
I would say. I'll say Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man's
Okay.
going to pop up this trailer, and
What's your second
maybe
guess?
I don't think they're going to show any of the Dusted, because that's another prediction I have. I don't think they're going to show any of them. Here's another thing about this movie that I'm excited about, because Infinity War was this huge event type movie. I think this movie is going to be a lot smaller scale in terms of story, but it's going to be a lot more personal, which is
Yeah,
what
that's
I'm
what I'm
excited about.
hoping too. Yeah, I'm hoping
Yeah.
I'm hoping that too. What's your second guess though? For a
Second guess. Here's another wild guess. I don't think we're going to see Thanos. I could be completely wrong on that one. That's just
Okay.
gut feeling. That we will see.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Maybe?
That when you see this person, you're like, oh, it happnes twice.
Happens twice.
And so your first guess is Ant-Man.
First
Your
guess is
second guess
Ant-Man.
is
I'm trying to remember like who's dusted and who's not, because I was gonna say. You know what? Okay, this is probably completely wrong. It goes against everything I've just said. Maybe Doctor Strange. Maybe in like flashback. Also, I think there will be a lot of like flashbacks from like footage from the first movie. I think there'll be like I would be shocked if we don't get to see Spider-Man dusted again, just because Marvel's trolling us and laughing at us and playing with our emotions. So
they do have a somewhat of a troll, and you'll see
They
it.
do have a
pretty-
troll. Okay, cool. But I do know
All right,
the title.
all right, let's start it because I am really excited for you to
Really
watch
excited?
this. And I want to
Also-
watch it again.
2 minutes 25 seconds. I've not seen this trailer at all. Brandon knows all the information. He knows all the speculation, hopefully, and I'll be seeing this fresh. So let's do this.
All right,
All right.
let me know when you hit it.
Yeah, hold on, let me turn this up. All right.
'Cause I'm gonna watch it at the same time as you.
All right, hopefully my headphones are connected. Let me turn up the volume.
So I want to hear like your reactions as I see it. You know,
Yeah. All right.
type of thing. So.
So 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Tony Stark's helmet on a table. I did see that. I saw the first shot.
Right, because of all the thumbnails
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Let me full screen this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, space.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hey, Miss
So
Parker,
Stark is still in space.
if you find this recording,
Ooh, is it Pepper
I'll
Potts?
feel better about this. Part of the journey is the end.
Okay.
Just for the record, being adrift in space with zero promise of rescue is more fun than it sounds.
I'm not going to be talking a lot in this.
4 days ago.
4 days ago.
4 days. Okay.
That'd be it. when I drift off, I will dream about you. It's always
I didn't even think about this. Just being like lost in space. Where's Nebula? Ha! Is that the troll you're talking about?
Yeah.
My lord. So maybe you do see Thanos in this trailer. Yep, okay.
Thanos did
Oh, is that
exactly
Thanos?
what he said he was going
Yeah,
to
it
do.
is.
He wiped out
I didn't know it was on the water. That's cool.
50%.
Ooh,
of all
beardless
living
cat.
creatures.
Okay.
We
So you think Ant-Man is gone?
all of us. We lost friends. We lost family.
Who's that?
We lost a part of ourselves.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't even think about Hawkeye. I forgot about him.
This is the fight of our
That's the
lives.
Ronin suit.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yep.
hey, there's Peggy.
I know it is. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do if it doesn't.
I've not been listening to the dialogue at all.
Yeah, we'll watch it again.
Yeah. Okay. That's about what I expected. Just a bunch of character shots.
Hold
bunch of
on.
Talking. There's the title. Endgame. Okay. Doctor Strange.
Hi, is anyone home?
Yep. There he is.
Years ago at the airport?
Yep.
Got done really big.
Is this an old message?
Ant-Man, I know you know that.
It's the front door.
Hey, can you buzz me in?
Yeah. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
April.
April. Oh, okay. That's another thing I forgot to say. I did think that they were gonna change the date. So yeah,
Yep.
they're doing day and date
April
again.
26th
Cool.
is the day. Well, so April 25th essentially.
April 25th. Awesome. So they're moving
Because
a
that'll
week
be
forward.
that Thursday, right?
Okay.
The 25th. I would assume.
Also, I missed all of Cap's dialogue. I was not. paying
Okay,
attention
so
at all.
and that's a lot that I want to talk about. But you did hear the 4 days, right?
I missed the 4 days until you said it. Like I heard it, but I didn't
So-
process it until you mentioned it.
Right. So that's going to be interesting, the
Ooh.
timeline of this, because I know what we've been thinking was it takes place years after.
Yeah, I kind of did want a time jump, but I didn't even think about like Stark being lost in space because if he's not in this movie as much, because he was a huge focus point in Infinity War, I think that makes sense. You know, for the majority of the film,
Right.
he's lost in space, sending messages to Pepper. No daughter then. I'm guessing unless he's lost in space that long. I don't know how long this
Well,
movie takes place
exactly.
during, or if this
Exactly,
is just like the cold open. Because they can do a
Right,
cold
that's
open.
the question.
They can cut
Is, like-
forward 5 years. I don't know.
Will they do that in the middle of a movie? I don't know. Like that's the question is like, because that's what the first thing I thought of after I saw it, because obviously I've had this thought of like how the movie's gonna go,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been pretty confident about that. But the second I heard that and saw that, I'm like, wait, so no time jump.
So no, see, that could all take place though in like the first act, where it,
It
sets
could.
up the world, says like the immediate aftermath.
But will they do a time jump in the middle of the movie?
I don't think they would. Honestly, I wish, but the reason why I wanted that so bad is because I wanted them to spend some time in I guess the end game in this world where 50% of the population is just gone.
Right.
I wish they would spend more time in it. They could. As you see a beardless Cap. I don't know. He can shave his beard pretty fast.
Right. Well, and then Scott Lang got out. Ant-Man got out pretty quick, if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it'd be that hard for him. Also, no Captain Marvel, so I got that right. And remember, the other day I was saying that I think Captain Marvel will be at the end of the second trailer, probably around Super Bowl time. 'Cause,
Right.
when
Right
Super
before the
Bowl,
movie comes out.
You'll have a new Captain Marvel trailer, the final trailer for Captain Marvel, and you have the second Avengers trailer, and it'll be like 3 months out. That's
Right.
when you have Captain Marvel in the Avengers trailer and like the final like where that Ant-Man spot was.
Right.
But yeah, no dusted characters. That's about what I expected from this trailer. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm
All
excited.
right, let's watch it again with so you can hear all the dialogue,
Watch
and then
it
we
again?
can get
Alright.
deeper into it.
So I'm just gonna... I'll cut this part then. So I watched it again. I think we are both in agreement that it's probably not 4 days after. It's...
He ran out of food and water 4 days ago, is what
Yeah,
he said.
That's what he said.
And then he runs out of
Oxygen in one
oxygen the
day.
next day. So it's gonna be interesting to see, but basically it's pretty much right after, because you would
It
think
is.
they probably didn't have much food and water to begin with.
I'm guessing a couple because they left in a rush. Why would they have food and water?
Right.
The other thing though is Nebula is with him. I'm assuming you don't see them together, but they were on that planet
Right.
alone.
Now, my question is, whose hand was that and whose shoulder was that
Where?
in that shot?
Do you have a timestamp?
Let's see. Hold on, I'm trying to find it real quick.
Oh, in Nebula's
Let's-
shot?
Right after Nebula's shot, yeah.
Whose hand and shoulder? I figured that was Cap and Black Widow, right? It could
Okay,
not-
yeah, that looks like it. Cause I mean the nails. I'm guessing that's.
That also could be Nebula and Stark, though.
But is
I
Nebula's
would guess
nails
it's one
like
of those
that?
two. Just because, like, the blue, you can't really tell with the lighting. Maybe. I have no idea. You can go frame by frame in this trailer and pick it apart, but I honestly don't think you'll find much at all.
Yeah, right.
But when I was watching, I do like that Stark is lost in space. I really like that. I don't think Stark is going to be in this movie much, just because he doesn't have his tech with him. He's pretty secluded. He has Nebula.
Unless he gets back quicker, and you got to remember, we've seen photos, of a set with all of them, essentially back in time.
Yeah.
And the old the old Tony Stark, that Stark right there with the gray hair, he is in those shots.
Well, this Tony Stark doesn't really have gray hair, does he?
A bit. I
In
mean,
this trailer? No? See, that's why I think there is
there is a time
I don't know
jump.
I don't know the gray hair thing. I need to pull up that image. Can you pull it up and then send it
Yeah,
over to me?
I'll look for it.
I'll put it up on the video for you guys if you're listening to the podcast on YouTube. Also, check out on iTunes feed, Talking Movies and all that junk. So I want to hear what people are talking about. I'm going to open up Twitter while you find that image, because I was convinced that there was going to be some sort of time jump. There still could be. I think, though, because Cap has a plan. Cap seems to have the plan of how to fix this, where I thought it'd be Tony Stark, which I think that was a wrong assessment to make in the beginning with, because we know Stark is not going to be as big in this movie as he was in the first one.
I'm sending you the photo right now.
Send the photo? Yeah, so let me pull this up.
Because Ant-Man is in the photo with him. Stark looks older.
So here's the image that we're talking about. There is Cap and in his Avengers 1 suit. We have Stark with like grayish hair. It kind of looks a little blonde. I don't know, but there's Ant-Man. I think... I honestly have no idea. I'm baffled. Because, like, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about in this podcast is I completely predicted all of Infinity War. I've never showed you the actual website link. Because I typed it up on the Unprofessional Reviewer website. And I completely predicted all of it. I knew where I was going to start. I knew where I was going to end. And I completely nailed it. This movie, I don't think you can do that with this trailer. To be fair, though, the trailers, when I predicted everything, it was after the first two trailers plus the Super Bowl spot.
Mm-hmm.
So... what did you just send?
So basically there's a bunch of photos of, it looks like people have guessed it looks like the original Avengers scene. At least that's what Cap looks like. He's in his original Avengers suit.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Ant-Man in there. You got the Hulk, and then you got an older Tony Stark. So
honestly, okay, I don't think it's an older Tony Stark because it doesn't really look gray. It looks more like blonde or lit up brown hair.
But that's not what he looked like in the first Avengers.
He didn't, no. Well, it's just because I think he's older in general as a person. I think that's why he looks older. So I do think it's a current time. I'm not sure if it's necessarily an aged Stark. Unless, okay, wait, here's a theory. I like this. Hold on, let me send you this link. So the theory that I just came up with just now is, what if Cap and Ant-Man, they're trying to go through time, right? That's why I'm guessing there's going to be time travel in this movie. I feel like that's mostly confirmed, if not completely confirmed by those images. I think maybe they don't have Stark, but they need Stark. So they go and grab a future version of him from that timeline. How do you like that?
Okay. I could see that happening. So we've had it backwards then.
Yeah.
Because the thought was that Ant-Man was going to pop up and find Stark, not Cap.
Yeah.
So in this trailer, he obviously goes out and finds Cap. So then them two, but see, how are they able to go back in time?
Quantum realm. That's what I'm thinking.
But are they? But it doesn't seem like Scott Lang knows how to do that.
Well, I don't think he does. I think it's more so because right before he goes, I need to watch Ant-Man and the Wasp after credit scene again, but what's her face? Janet says like, "Oh, be careful about those time things," or whatever she says.
Right,
So
but it's
maybe
not like he knows how to do
by
it. By
chance, maybe he does it. Maybe not on purpose. And you got to remember, Ant-Man is not a complete idiot. Ant-Man and the Wasp kind of made him a complete idiot, but if you watch the original Ant-Man again, he breaks into the safe. He's pretty smart about things. He's a clever criminal.
But
he can
you're
break
also
out of this place.
Yeah, but you're also dealing with something completely different. I guess the only way is you could have the Hulk, or what's his name, Bruce Banner. He's able to do it.
That's what I'm thinking. If you have the power of Banner and Cap and Ant-Man.
Because Shuri, by the way, I don't know if you caught it, but Shuri got dusted.
Shuri did get dusted?
So in the when Bruce Banner's looking at the monitor, looking at all the people who got dusted, Shuri's face is on there.
Aw, man.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
She pops up right before Spidey does.
Okay, I didn't pay attention. I saw that Spidey was on there, and who else was on there?
So it's her and then Scott Lang.
Okay, yeah, because I remember Scott Lang was on there, so they think that's what happened, but then Lang shows up.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Also, another thing about the Ronin thing about Hawkeye is Hawkeye's family gets dusted, and so I think Ronin is kind of a villainous character, right? Or more on the villainy side.
Well, he's obviously killing people.
Yeah, he's not necessarily a good dude anymore. He's kind of gotten hardened. He's not necessarily a villain, but he's taking control. He's not he's not a team player anymore. Also, I think it's in Japan, unless I'm mistaken. I'm not sure though.
Yeah, it could be. It could also just be some random town. I don't know. But yeah, so basically, yes, he becomes Ronin because something happens in his life.
That's why I think his family gets dusted.
So, right, essentially, well, in the comics, something happens. I don't remember what exactly happened, but in this story, yes, his family probably gets dusted, and then he turns into Ronin, which, like you said, is more of a villainous character. But obviously, he won't be the villain of this movie.
No, I think they'll have to basically recruit him. That's why I think there will have to be at least a few months later, just for characters to get in the place where they need to be. I feel like Cap at the beginning of the movie, after maybe 6 months, is my guess, would be like he's lost hope. And maybe with Ant-Man's return, there is hope.
Right,
and
because then the quantum realm is a thing.
Yeah, Bruce Banner was the one looking at the images, right, of the people who were dusted?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So yeah, they're together. So the people who are together, I think we can piece that together in the very least. So we have Ant-Man, we have Cap, we have Black Widow, and Hulk. I feel like I repeated. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
though, right?
so yeah, we got Banner, Black Widow, Cap. Right, and then probably
they
Hawkeye.
go to recruit Hawkeye. Yeah. Who
Right.
else is
So
left?
now-
Oh, Thor. Thor was in a. It
Also
looked like
Thor.
Thor was sitting down somewhere.
Right, and you know what I'm hoping, and I don't know if we'll get this, but a Thor and Captain Marvel team up.
the two most powerful, overpowered people.
But anyway, but the interesting thing is Stark, because I guess what you can do is you can go back in time with Cap and Ant-Man. They go and get Stark because obviously he's gone. You need him. And so then they get the, I guess, older Stark, I guess, from the original
That's my theory.
Avengers.
My theory is they go for an older Stark.
Right.
Because they don't have time to get... Maybe they get in contact with Stark in space. They're like, we don't have time to get you.
My theory though, and I told you this before, I have a feeling I know how Captain Marvel gets into this.
Yeah.
Maybe because Stark is in space, maybe they bump into each other. Maybe she's the one that saves him.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Because, and we got to also remember there's a couple rumors of rescue, and he mentioned rescue a couple times. He said rescue a couple times. Pepper Potts is rescue in this movie. Which if you don't know, she has basically she has her own Iron Man armor, but she's called Rescue. That was confirmed in toys. So does she save him? Or I would say those are the two options of how, because I don't think he's gonna die in space.
No way.
That's not how Stark is gonna go out. And in my opinion, I don't think Stark dies in this movie. I do think Cap dies in this movie, but in a different way, and we can talk about that later. Because I want to talk about the Peggy stuff. But as far as Stark goes,
oh yeah, that was 100% intentional, by the way. Showing Peggy like that.
Exactly. That's what I want to get to that in a little bit. But with Stark, there's two options: either Captain Marvel saves him, or Rescue Pepper figures out a way how to get out. But that's the problem with Pepper is I don't know how in the world can she find? Obviously, she might have a tracker because he has the helmet. But how is she going to get all the way out there? You know what I mean? Like, if she's by herself, it just doesn't really make sense. So I think Captain Marvel is the one that kind of bumps into them, and that's how maybe a post-credit scene where Captain Marvel sees a ship or something, and it's only a month before Avengers, so maybe we get a spoiler there. I'm not really sure how that's gonna work.
I feel like Captain Marvel is gonna end. Okay, here's an over/under I was gonna give you. Over/under 25% that Captain Marvel herself gets dusted.
No, because I think she's a big part. I will go way under. I would say 0%.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because I put it pretty low at 25. I would also say under. But it could be a possibility because she can get the page, and then she can get dusted right after.
But but the whole point of them introducing her is to help them.
Yeah, here's another thought that I had. This was a while ago when I thought about this. I'm not sure if I told you, but what if she starts to get dusted, but she's so powerful she's able to stay?
Maybe.
I mean, she's like half in, half out. She can interact with the people who are dusted and the people who are still in the real world.
Okay, that could also work. That's another thing. I'm not sure if they're gonna really show anyone that got dusted. I don't know if there's another world. Like, I think that's gonna get too complicated. I think the main part of it is that they're going back in time for whatever reason, whether that's to collect the Infinity Stones themselves or to figure out a way to, maybe they're going back, and I think this will go back to why Cap, I think, goes back to the 1940s.
Yeah. So that was
World War II, because there's an Infinity Stone in that movie.
There is.
It's a Tesseract. So maybe and there's a way that maybe he goes back, instead of maybe finding Stark, he goes back and finds his dad. And he has his dad help them with the Tesseract instead. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Stark's dad. I don't know.
That'd be cool to bring him back.
Right, because I think because obviously Tony Stark is missing. So how do you, and they're obviously going to need him. But again, I mean, then there's the set photos. They all have that thing on their wrist, though. That's the difference. Is like they all have that what looks like a time, some type of time thing that's allowing them to be out there.
Yeah.
Well, and Stark has that as well.
My thought with Cap is, and here's the thing about this movie is, Infinity War had a very dark and sad ending. Like one of the final shots was, Cap saying, "Oh God," in front of a dead Vision, right? That's one of the final shots in the movie, before Thanos, sitting at his farm. This movie, I don't think, is going to end in a sad way. That's why I don't think that a lot of people will die in this movie, necessarily.
I don't think a lot of people will die in this movie. I do think it kind of ends on a solemn note. because I do think that one of the ending shots is a funeral.
I think
And
it ends bittersweet because I think
Yes,
if the
exactly.
Cap thing happens, because if you have access to time travel, right?
Cap will willingly go back
Yeah,
to his time and stay with Peggy.
yeah, to live his life how it should
Right.
have gone.
For the viewers, this is our thought, and this is I think I originally said this, and this is
Yes.
what I want to happen. Basically, Cap goes back to the 1940s, whether it's by his choice or he needs something back at that point. Remember, the Tesseract is back at that point. Tony Stark's dad is back at that point.
See, I don't think
Peggy,
any of that will come
even
into
if he
play. I
needs
think if you have access to time travel, I think that's just what he would do.
possibly, and that's but this trailer also I think changes that for me because they show Peggy in there, and then they obviously have a plan, and I think one of his plans is to go back to the 40s and do something there, whatever
Mm-hmm.
that is. But that's one of his ideas, and so that's what they're doing.
I mean, you have to give reason for them to be going back in time, and I think the reason would be to gather the Infinity Stones before Thanos gets it, right? Is that what you're
Right.
getting at?
Yeah, but also it's like, well, you can also get the Tesseract in the first Avengers movie, right? So why is he going back? Because he keeps on looking at that picture of Peggy. So he's obviously in that scene. I believe he's going back to his time.
No, see, here's where I disagree with you on that. I think the smarter choice, if you're to give them the option at a point in the movie where, like, okay, we can either go back to New York in 2012 and get both the Mind Stone and the Tesseract at the same time. Why not? That's easier. And maybe Cap has to choose not to go back to Peggy because it's more of a personal choice. But in the end of the movie, he still has the ability to do so, and
And then
they let
that's
him.
when he goes back. Yeah.
Yeah, they let him.
That
I
could
don't
be.
think
And
they
then
go back to that time.
Right. But my thought is he does go back to that time. He lives out his life, and the funeral at the end of the movie is for him, but it's older him, obviously. It's, a 90-year-old version of him, and he passed away of old age type of thing.
Yeah. So,
Um,
there is a big death in the movie, but it's bittersweet in the sense that it's
He got to
how
live
it
out
should
his
have gone.
life.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can even
Um,
have. Here's another thing: if they somehow change the universe and have the mutants brought into this, because this was a thing that I joked about, but I really like the idea. Can you imagine, like, because in World War II, that's like the origin of Magneto and all those people, right? Of the mutants. Can you imagine Captain America fighting alongside the mutants in those times? And maybe you can see
Yeah,
through like
well-
news clippings like Captain America saves a day with Professor X, and as they grow up, and then he dies. And
So have you heard the rumor? There's a rumor out there that Chris Evans is signing a new contract with Marvel, but what if he's in the next X-Men movie?
yeah, in the past,
so that-
and you show some of
Exactly.
that.
So the MCU's X-Men movie that will come out, in whatever 2020, 2021, one of those years, will actually have him in it as well.
Yeah, because you can always go back in time, show him in a different life, in a different timeline.
Right.
You can still have Captain America, but we know where he ends up. We know he lives his life,
Right.
type of thing.
Right. And at that point, that Captain America kind of knows everything
Yeah.
in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different for him, obviously, because now there's mutants all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where we are going towards. It's just interesting. I'm a little bit before I saw this trailer, I was 100% sure Stark would not die. Now I'm not so sure. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, and if he does die, how does he die?
Mhm.
I don't think they're gonna kill off both. I mean, I guess you're killing off Captain America, but you're also gonna have him in the next X-Men movie, possibly, right? So he's not really done, but he is technically a death. I don't know. That's kind of a cop out in a way for them.
But see, I don't see this movie being sad in any way. I don't think they end this movie in a sad
Right,
way.
but it's also called the Endgame for a reason. They're trying to move on from these original characters, and I think a lot of these original characters are going away.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you in that. I think Cap
or
for sure is
taking a
done
big
after this
step.
movie.
Right, or taking a big step back, which I think Stark eventually turns into the new Nick Fury, which he does in the comics.
Yeah.
He takes control of Shield, and maybe in this new world, Shield is still a thing.
You could bring back Shield, yeah. You could. That'd be fun.
Because in the World War II Cap, along with the X-Men, they take down.
They take down Hydra. That's great.
Exactly.
They prevent it from happening.
With Bucky, by the way.
Oh, you bring
so
Bucky back with him?
Yes, I think
Okay.
so. I think you can do that. And then, in the new world, Shield is legit, and real. Stark is the head of it, and it's him, Captain Marvel, Spidey, maybe even Thor, and they're the leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And Cap is now gone, but let's say Cap is pretty much one of the founding fathers of Shield, along with Stark's dad.
Yeah, I think that's how.
And
if
maybe
I were to
Stark's
write
dad
this-
doesn't die. Maybe Tony Stark's life is completely different too.
That's what I was going to say. I think this was my next question I was going to ask is who remembers this timeline? Is it only Cap?
It might be only Cap.
Because if he goes back in time and he changes everything,
Exactly, everything will be changed.
Yeah, so that is where I think this is going to end up. That's how I would write it myself. I would do something like that. I'd reset the world, soft
and
reboot.
the worry for most people is, will this movie ruin Infinity War? In that situation, I don't think it ruins Infinity War. I think Infinity War is still that movie that caused it all to change.
The world will never be the same.
Right,
That's
because
the
of
thing.
Infinity War.
Yeah,
The
Infinity
problem
War will
is
still have a huge impact.
Exactly. People are concerned that what happens in Avengers and Endgame, I keep on wanting to say 4 because, the title, but in Endgame, all of a sudden, people are worried that it's just they're going back in time, they're fixing it, they're going to be back in their normal, life and everything's the same.
Yeah.
But people keep on forgetting about mutants and about how that's going to work. And obviously, and the MCU and the Russo brothers, they all have been pretty sure they were going to get the X-Men. They were going to get rights to the X-Men, to Fantastic Four, all of them. They probably had a good idea, so they were able to, plan it ahead of time and say, okay, this is the plan. We're going to change everything. Because how do you implement the X-Men if you don't have
You
them?
can't
in World
lose
War
the
II?
history. That's the thing about
Exactly.
the X-Men is their
That's the
history
most
is so important.
Right. That's what's so important about that's their story. So the only way to do that is to completely change everything. And in this timeline, Gamora lives. So there you go. You got your Guardians of the Galaxy back. I think one of the differences, and that's probably one of the rough ones for you. I know, because I think you don't want the people who died before the snap. You don't want alive again. But I have a feeling those guys, because we have the new Loki TV series. Loki's life is probably completely different now because Thanos is probably out of the picture. So maybe Loki is a new villain, or is a different type of villain, or maybe
He's a hero.
obviously going to have his TV series. So maybe he's his own hero.
Mm-hmm. And then also they
along with
confirmed
Thor.
that the Scarlet Witch series is going to be Scarlet and Vision.
Right. So obviously they're going to live, and Vision is probably, a little bit different about how he was made because, did Ultron happen then? So they're going to have to there's a lot to explain if you change the whole past and you put Cap in that past, because Cap will know everything.
Yeah.
And so that's the difference, is that, obviously it's going to be a little bit different because he's working with mutants instead, but he's going to take down Hydra because he knows, and he's going to create S.H.I.E.L.D. the right way because he knows, and he's going to put Tony Stark in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. because he knows who Tony is, and he's the right person for that.
Yeah.
And
Alright.
so
I like
basically this whole story is turning Cap into the creator of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the reason why Stark lives on, and he's the new Nick Fury.
Yeah. So
And maybe, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Nick Fury actually dies and he's a Skrull.
that was my prediction in Captain Marvel.
wouldn't- yes.
I think Nick Fury dies in Captain Marvel, and he's replaced by a Skrull. And so he was a Skrull the entire time.
Because then in the new timeline where
you have Stark
where you
as
have
the
S.H.I.E.L.D.
head of
right,
S.H.I.E.L.D.
and Nick Fury is no longer a thing.
Yeah.
He died, and he full on died.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Or maybe the Skrull just moves on.
Or the Skrull moves
And then they
on.
can do
Maybe
Secret
the
Wars
Skrull-
if they want later on.
Exactly. So I think that's where we're headed. It makes sense, especially with the X-Men stuff. It makes sense because of the Loki and the Scarlet Witch TV series. It just adds up,
Yeah.
and it makes sense. I don't think, and that allows you to have Chris Evans do a couple more movies with the X-Men, and it allows you to let Tony Stark have his own new story without having to kill him yet.
Also, with the Gamora thing, I think the only way I'd be happy with it is if it's not necessarily the Avengers who save Gamora, if it's Thanos who does. That is why I would like it. If Thanos goes back on his decision, he regrets it, and he's the one who makes a choice to bring her back.
Maybe.
That is what I'd want.
Well,
I want more of a
and
character
in
arc
this
for
whole-
Thanos himself.
Right. Well, in this whole thing that we just came up with, though, what happens to Thanos, and how do you?
I don't think, because Thanos was the main character in Infinity War. He's not the main character in this movie. This movie is about Cap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because this is Cap's send-off, and I think everyone knows that. A send-off in a way, because I think he'll pop up in X-Men now.
I would like that. I would like if he popped up in X-Men. That'd be cool.
And I think they're gonna have to show, and I think at the end of the movie when it's a funeral, they're gonna be like, someone's gonna be up there talking about him, and it's gonna be also Cap probably has a kid with Peggy, so that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
So maybe they can have a new Captain America. It's his kid.
Yeah.
You never know. You
Another
never know
thing that
what
I
they
wanted
do.
to add, though, like with all this speculation that we have, I guarantee you most of this is wrong because we don't have as much. Because like the reason why I sent you this predicting Avengers Infinity War thing is because I had a lot of evidence with all these trailers that
Right.
showed a decent amount of footage. I feel like this showed nothing. I can't piece together anything at this
trailer
point.
showed nothing, but
We're
at the
still
same
basing
time-
this footage off of our pre-existing thoughts, right?
Yes, but our pre-existing thoughts, you got to remember though, our thoughts are because of the facts of what's happening with the films and what's
Yeah.
happening in real life.
I mean, we can make some pretty good estimates and guesses, but the thing, like, if you open up that link, I'll link it in the description of this video. I completely nailed it. I used footage from everything. At this point, everything that we're saying, we could end up backing this up in, like, by the time the Super Bowl comes out. 'Cause that's when I uploaded this. Like, when did
Right.
this went up? March 20th. So that was probably soon after the Super Bowl, like a few weeks maybe. But yeah, like I nailed it. I said it's going to start on the Asgardian planet or the ship, and Loki would die within 5 minutes of the movie. I nailed it. The Marvel Studios logo plays there. I got everything.
Right.
I got the reason why Stark went up to the ship. I nailed like when everything would take place and ending the movie with the snap. I completely nailed that movie. I had a few things wrong if you read through it and really pay attention, but I use a lot of information, a lot of shots from the trailers. This trailer, I don't think I have enough information to do any of this.
Well, no, and no one does. And I'm continuing to base it off of what we know about the real life stuff and what's going on with all of that. The one thing that you can say that the one reason I'm wrong is because it was risky on their part to go with that plan when they don't have the for sure go ahead that the X-Men are a thing.
Yeah.
At least when they filmed this movie. So
Also, I do believe that they did have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C
Right.
all the way through Z. You know,
Right.
they had all these different versions mapped out and how they want to do it, but they're able to get the X-Men. If January 1st, which was the rumor of when this deal was going to go through, if that is the case, then that's great. I think it's possible to get an X-Men movie in 2 years from now.
right. And I think, you know what I think their plan B was the Secret Wars.
Yeah, I still think that could happen.
Well, it will happen. It just happened later.
Mhm.
But I think it was the original plan was, okay, we're going to do all of this time stuff. We're going to do this whole new timeline.
It's just
But-
whether or not we're going to inject the mutants in now.
Right.
Or if we're going to inject them in through the probably throughout like a similar way later on. And I think
Right.
it will happen in this movie. Depending on how things go in the next few months, though, with that deal, I'm not sure.
Right. And you know what they could also do with this whole new timeline? They have a whole new trilogy for Captain America if they wanted.
They could. They honestly could. I don't think they would do it.
Of him creating Shield. Now they'll if they have, but here's their
What
other
about a
plan though.
series?
What they could have done was put if they didn't get X-Men, right? Their plan B was like, okay, well instead we'll just have him create Shield in a different way without the mutants, right? And so that would have been their plan, and then they would have gone Skrulls right after, or at least right away with the current timeline. But obviously plan A was for him to create Shield with the mutants, with X-Men, and have the X-Men movies come out before the Secret Wars stuff and whatnot. So
Yeah, I do really
I
hope
think
they
that
do
was
an
their plan.
Avengers
I
versus
think no
X-Men.
matter what, I think they were gonna have Cap go out the way we think.
Yeah.
I after seeing this trailer, I think that confirmed that to me because he keeps on looking at Peggy.
Yeah, that's
And
that's 100% intentional. There's no way.
Right.
I don't think they go back to that time to get that stone. But I do think that in
But
the end
he
of the
goes
movie,
back.
he decides to go back
Right.
because that's
Well-
the right thing to do.
Right, and you got to remember, his arc is done. His story is done. There's nothing that's keeping him there right now.
The only thing,
and-
the only thing that's keeping them there is to resolve the conflict between Stark and Cap, and that will be resolved. And how that is
Right,
resolved
well,
is
yeah.
letting Cap
Well, yeah.
go back.
Exactly, and that's how you do it. So I think, honestly, I think we're right on that. I think that's honestly, I would say
Of
there's-
everything, that's probably the most right we are.
right. To me, that's like a 90%. I'm sure, like 90% sure, like that's happening in my mind after seeing this trailer, especially because of all the Peggy that we saw in this trailer, which was a lot, considering. So, and concerning his story arc and whatnot. So it'll be interesting. The one other thing I think is the people who got dusted. I don't think we see them really at all until the end.
Yeah.
I think we see them at the funeral, at Cap's funeral, because we know there was a leak, and I don't remember how this was leaked out or who said it, but there's a funeral in this movie. Whether it
Yeah,
was
because you
starting out
keep on
the
saying
movie
that.
with
I have
the
no
funeral
idea.
or-
That's one thing I never heard of.
Right, and I don't remember where I saw it, and I guess if you Googled it, you could probably find it. But for whatever reason, there's a funeral. I feel like the leak is there's a funeral in this movie, and everyone is in that scene. That's the scene where every Avenger is lined up, and they're there. Because people were saying there's one scene where all the Avengers are there.
Yeah,
I think that's the scene.
because I like how this would end up being a more personal story.
Right.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So basically, all the Avengers, they're sitting at the funeral. It's this huge thing because the funeral for Cap is so big because he's been there for 90 years, and he's the one that created Shield. He's a creator of Shield at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's so big, and all the Avengers are there. Everyone is there. It's this huge funeral, and that's how the movie ends. A bittersweet. He got his life. And you never know. Maybe he has kids, and that's how you continue the Captain America story.
Yeah. Also, I'm looking through Twitter. I feel like most people are enjoying the trailer. I think that's the main consensus. Everybody's just excited for this movie. Everybody like analyzing, people laughing. Like, there's rest in peace Cap's beard. That's a thing right now. Like, waking up in the morning watching the Avengers trailer, everybody's all depressed, and it's like, yeah.
It'll be
That's pretty much how this
interesting to see if they add anything with the government in this movie.
I don't think so.
Because obviously Cap, the people remaining that are in the Avengers building were obviously were being hunted down by the government. Literally everyone in that building.
You know what people are doing? This is my favorite. That picture where Bruce Banner is looking at the people who were dusted. They're putting the Marvel Netflix characters on there. The other shows are getting canceled. That's new meme.
Amazing.
They're putting
that's
I'm not sure if you're caught up on Walking Dead, but they're putting Walking Dead characters on there. It's like, that's great.
Hilarious. That's
this
funny.
is fantastic. So I'll think that's wrapping up our Avengers section of this. We have, how much time do we have? Probably like another 15 minutes?
Yeah, another 15 minutes. You want to talk about the Spider-Man trailer?
We can talk about the Spider-Man trailer briefly, because I do want to get to Kevin Hart, and then also Captain Marvel. Let's hit Captain Marvel really fast. Here's why I like the trailer, and here's why I don't understand people complaining about it. Especially your case is you're not excited about the character. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, I'm just... I don't know why, because originally, before the first trailer came out, I was really excited for that movie. And I was excited to see the first trailer. And it just didn't excite me. The trailers just didn't excite. They're good trailers. They just didn't excite me. And I think that lessened the excitement. Also, probably just waiting for Avengers.
Yeah,
that might be. But again, I like the trailers. It's not like I don't like the trailers. It's just I'm not excited for the movie. And
I'll admit,
I don't know why.
The second trailer is the exact same trailer as the first one. It's the exact same trailer with a couple of other cool shots, and it's slightly rearranged. But here's why I'm excited for it. It is because I feel like of all the Marvel movies, this one is going to be solely based on the character of Captain Marvel, and you're going to get so much of that. And the reason is, for structure of this movie, from that most recent trailer, we find out that she doesn't remember any of her time on Earth. She doesn't remember her past. She's a warrior. So I think throughout the movie, she's going to be learning about herself as we learn about her. So it's not going to be like a straightforward origin story. Like, yeah, we're going to get her origin, but it's going to be more of like a Batman Begins style where it starts off, he's already Batman, you know? He's learning how to do things. You don't see his father's death at the beginning of the movie. You find that out like halfway through. You know, you get to see it throughout the movie and figure out why. And I feel like at the end of the movie, when she wins, when she has all the power, it's because she knows her history with the Kree and her history as a human, and that together is what makes her strong, what makes her so powerful. And I think learning her character throughout that structure, like how like I compare it to Batman Begins, I love Christopher Nolan, and none of his movies are in chronological order. None of them make sense at all, like on paper, but they're so good because I love that structuring of a movie, and I see that with like when she falls over and the match cutting with her falling over as a younger age and all of that and all the series of flashbacks. I like that type of storytelling. So I feel like this movie for her character is going to be so good, and I don't think people are seeing that.
Right, and like that's my thing is like I think the movie's gonna be great. I think it's gonna be fantastic, and I think it's gonna make a lot of money.
I think
I'm
people just
not
want to see the
excited for it
flashy
yet.
stuff, and you're seeing more of her character in these trailers. I don't understand the people who are saying, "Oh, we're not getting a lot of her character in this trailer." We're getting a lot. Like, I understand maybe you don't like it as right now because we don't have the full picture. I get that. But people saying that, oh, her character looks bland. No, her character is the most exciting part of this movie because learning who she is, what she became, of being taken away from Earth. I don't know where she started, you know? I'm guessing she grew up on Earth.
I think the difference is that it's not going to be a normal Marvel movie. And you can obviously see that in the trailer. And I think that's where people are saying that.
Mm-hmm. I also do think I agree with you with the hype of Avengers. I think that kind of hurt it as well. They just want that trailer.
Right. Mm-hmm. But again, it didn't hurt Black Panther, but I think that was for a different reason.
Yeah. But we know because not for Black Panther because it came out before Infinity War, and I think that makes all the difference in the world because we didn't have a huge cliffhanger. We didn't have half the world dying when Black Panther came out, and we have half the world dead right now.
Yeah.
So
it'll be interesting. Like, it's gonna be a good movie. I don't think there's gonna be a whole lot of references to Avengers 4. I think the only reference we get is just the after credit scene.
Yeah, I like the references that Black Panther had. Very little, but when it does reference, it's good. You know.
Right.
I want this to be a standalone Captain Marvel movie.
I think my main, question is how she gets implemented into Avengers 4.
I think at the very end of the movie, I do kind of like if I were to do it, I feel like it's kind of complicated. Her bouncing between being dusted and non-dusted. I'm sure the easiest, like how I think about it, how I speculate, is the simplest answer is always the right one. Almost always the right one. So I feel like she's just going to get the page at the end of the movie that, oh, we need your help.
Right,
and she'll fly towards Earth at the very end.
And on her way, maybe she runs into Stark.
Yeah, I think the last shot of the movie is her flying through space after she gets the page. I think that's the end of the movie or the after credit scene.
Yeah, and maybe she sees a ship. And that's it.
I don't think she sees a ship. I think that'll be a surprise.
You don't think they spoil that?
No, I think her flying off would be. Yeah, her flying off would be enough. So we know she's coming. She's on her way.
Right, and she's the only one in space that can save Tony Stark because Pepper can't. As much as I would like to see that, because obviously she's Rescue. Like that's the name, Rescue, and he says that several times in the trailer. I don't know how she can get out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sold.
But she's the only one that has a tracker of him too.
I don't know. And also, it'd be a little convenient if Captain Marvel found him just floating in space. You know,
right?
It'd be somewhat convenient. I see what you're saying. I do think if I were to choose between Captain Marvel or Potts finding Stark, I'd say Potts. Okay. I'd give it like the 51% to 49%. I'd give it just the slightest edge.
But those are the only two ways you can think of, right? Yeah. Because he's not going to die like that.
He's not going to die, no.
Exactly. And I don't think he dies at all because of our obviously our prediction of what's going to happen with the rest of the MCU in the next 4 or 5 years. So it's who the heck saves him. I think the easiest way, the most, like you said, the most convenient and the easiest way is Captain Marvel finds him. The other is to implement Rescue, and that's why Pepper becomes Rescue, is to rescue Stark, and that's kind of ironic, and it makes sense. The only question is how the heck does she get out there? Who helps her? Does anyone help her? Does she do it herself? Can her
I
suit
wouldn't be
fly out there that
surprised.
far?
I wouldn't be surprised if Stark made her a suit. Stark being the careful, very meticulous. I'm gonna build these suits just in case. Like that's how
Right.
Batman is in the comics. He built a way to
But
kill every
right,
single
but
member of
that
the
suit.
Justice League.
Well, and he made the Spider-Man suit obviously for that reason. But that suit can't fly out that far into space.
It could, yeah. Stark did it. Stark flew into space.
Yeah, but
In the first Avengers movie, when he flew out into space and he almost died, that's why he made that suit be able to go into space.
oh, the rescue suit is specifically able to do that.
I think
That's
he made the
interesting.
rescue suit the most secure and the safest in all situations. I think that's what he made it for.
Okay, I can see that. The rescue suit is specifically built to be in space.
Not specifically built to be in space, but specifically built to help in any situation, whether it's space, whether it's on the ground, whether it's anywhere.
Okay, I can see that. I think I agree with you, and I think that's how he gets saved. Is it's Pepper.
So moving on to the Spider-Man trailer, over under. I'll do 25% again. Over under 25% that Spider-Man is in the trailer.
I would say
Or Peter
over,
Parker.
but I would say over. Okay, you know what? I will say under on Peter Parker, over on Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah. 'Cause I think the funniest
And-
thing is I can see.
I don't think you hear his voice.
Yeah, I can see in I think this will focus more on Mysterio, which I think would be cool, and then on Michelle and kind of the group of kids, why they're going.
Yeah.
Honestly,
And Aunt May.
I feel like the most likely thing for this trailer, for me at least, I would do over on 25% for both, mainly because I don't think they're gonna care. I think they're just gonna market it exactly how they would. No questions about it. It's just they're gonna have
Possibly.
a trailer for the movie itself. That's what I
Possibly,
think
and you
they're
got to
gonna do.
remember too, with our thought, is that the whole world is different.
Yeah,
So
but you don't
it
need
could
to really
be-
show that. If you're just
Well,
in London walking
exactly.
around and it's a smaller scale movie, they're just going to like different locations. I don't think it matters. I think you just show whatever you want. I think people are making a
Exactly,
bigger
that's
deal
what
out of
I'm
it
saying.
than it is.
Yeah,
I think you can just
exactly,
have a trailer.
because everything won't be back to normal, but it will feel like it's back to normal.
Yeah,
but
I
that's
think the
just
trailer's
how-
gonna feel like it's back to normal, but at the end of Endgame, you're gonna see things weren't normal. Things are completely different. You just don't see it in the marketing
Right.
for Homecoming or Far From Home.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, so I think the trailer will be good. I think it'll be a fun trailer.
Stealth
I
suit
think
Spider-Man, I love it.
yes.
I know you were kind of like, yeah,
I wasn't surprised.
yeah. I was surprised. I loved it.
I think we're gonna see a lot of different suits that he has.
I like the black and red suit, the one that was leaked.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a lot of different.
Jake Gyllenhaal is my favorite actor of all time, and so him being as Mysterio, love it.
Mhm.
Do you
wonder
think the
what other
fishbowl? Do we
villains
see
we get.
Fishbowl head?
Maybe.
Because I know in the leaks he didn't have his helmet on, but that could be CG. His helmet could be
Right,
CG.
maybe. Well, I know. It's gonna be in the movie. It's
Yeah.
just, I don't know if we're gonna see it in the trailer. Do we see? Obviously, we got MJ, the new MJ,
Mhm.
Michelle. Do we see his best friend? Not Ned, but oh my God, what's his name? Goblin.
Oh
uh,
gosh, I hate
Dear
that
Lord.
you just said that because now I can't think. Oh no,
I'm trying to think of what the building is called, and I can't even remember.
Oscorp.
Oscorp.
What's his name though?
Oh
gosh.
my God, everyone's yelling and
Oh
screaming his
no.
name, and
People are. I hate.
I'm.
So I was at work and I couldn't think of the guy in Rogue One, the villain's name. I was like, okay, I'll remember at some point through the day. Don't tell me. And I texted him in the middle of the night at like 1 a.m. Ben Mendelsohn. I was like, I just figured it out now. It's been like almost a day.
Yeah, I'm going.
So,
Let's see, Spider.
Don't look it up. Oh yeah, look it up. It's gonna Oscorp. Osborn. Something Osborn.
Harry.
Harry Osborn. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So where will we see Harry in this movie in general?
I don't think you see him in the trailer. In the movie, you can have a. You can.
I think you
wouldn't be
start to
mad.
right. Well, and in the comics, it's funny. Ned becomes Goblin.
Hobgoblin.
Hobgoblin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hobgoblin. So
Which I think
I
Ned's dad
wonder-
could be it. I think the rumor was Ned's dad was in jail, and maybe because I think if they were to do a Sinister Six, you have Scorpion, you have Vulture. If Ned is in jail, he's the Hobgoblin, so you already have 3. You have Mysterio, that's 4. You introduce either Doc Ock or someone else. You get the Sinister Six.
right. Will
Because
we-
they're
but will we
introducing
see
two
the-
villains per movie, basically, right?
Right. Will we see the Green Goblin?
I don't think. No, not in. Maybe in the Sinister Six. Maybe that's introduced in the third movie. If you introduce
I'm just
Harry,
curious to see if they introduce Oscorp.
if they introduce Oscorp, I'd say Green Goblin would round out the Sinister Six,
Okay.
and he'll be the main one. He'll be the one who breaks
Yeah.
out. Because remember the Spider-Man PS4 game? There's that whole sequence where all the villains are breaking out of jail. And if you put that in a movie, when I first saw that trailer for that game, I was like, you make that into a movie, that's sick. That's great. That's the Sinister Six movie right there.
Yeah, I think we'll end up getting that for sure eventually in this world. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited to see the Spider-Man trailer though.
Yeah. Okay. So last
But
thing,
it's gonna be interesting. I don't know how they're gonna do it.
I think it's the funniest thing. I can see Kevin Feige walking to the marketing team for that movie and said, "Good luck," and just walking out.
Yeah,
I don't have a
exactly.
solution for you. Figure it out. I don't know. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah.
I'd hate to be in that
I
team.
wish we didn't get a Spider-Man trailer till after Avengers 4, but obviously
gonna happen.
marketing and Sony won't do that.
I wish there wasn't a Endgame trailer. I wish there wasn't a title. My theory at least was you don't get a title until the end of the movie.
Oh, we never even talked about
Yeah,
that.
so my theory was they're not going to release the title of the movie until the end of Avengers 4, and it'd be revealed that the title is Avengers Assemble. And so at the very end of the movie, all the Avengers are finally assembled, and
the
Cap
funeral.
says Avengers Assemble, and that'd be the title.
Right.
And so you don't find out till the end of the movie. But obviously that's not the case. Avengers Endgame, it's fine.
I still like the title.
Yeah, I think half people are going to be disappointed. Half people are going to like it.
Yeah.
They just set themselves up in a situation that was a win-lose situation. You weren't going to win it all. You weren't going to lose it all, but, it's Endgame.
Right. Well, and the Russo brothers said that. They're like, well, we probably shouldn't have said that it's a spoiler. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's a big... Because it got blown out of proportion. And
It got blown way out of proportion. I'm glad
But
this
things
trailer's
like-
out,
but-
though. People can finally shut up about this trailer.
Right. And they'll get a new one in 3 months.
Yeah, I think Super Bowl would be the next one.
Yep. Exactly. And that's almost exactly 3 months away.
And so last thing is I want to talk about the Kevin Hart thing. Just because here's the thing. I tweeted out when Kevin Hart was first announced that he was going to host the Oscars, I put a bunch of upside down faces because I don't like Kevin Hart. I've never liked his comedy.
You don't like
The
his
only movie-
stand-up stuff?
I have not seen his stand up. I'll watch his stand up just because I can. But I'll watch his stand up. I'll see if I like it. But his shtick, I just never bought into it. I liked him in Jumanji. He was probably my least favorite of the four characters, but I liked him in Jumanji enough. Hated Central Intelligence. Ride
Why
Along
don't
is
you
probably
like
the worst
Kevin
comedy
Hart?
in the world. I hate Ride Along.
Why don't you like Kevin Hart? What's
It
your...
just annoys me. I don't like his shtick. It's just the same thing over and over again. And Jumanji was a little bit toned down, and he wasn't the focus of it, so that's why I
think
didn't
the
mind.
reason, but Kevin Hart's the same in every movie, and I get why
Yeah.
people don't like that. He's the same in every movie because that's who he is in real life.
Yeah, same thing with Tiffany
Yeah.
Haddish though. Tiffany Haddish is very loud and obnoxious. I haven't seen many of her movies, but she's the same. And
Right.
I think I like her more than Kevin Hart, mainly because I haven't been exposed to her as much as Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart is just thrown in my face every 5 seconds.
Well, and I think eventually you'll probably feel the same way then about Tiffany Haddish. Then.
Maybe, yeah. But the
But that's how
Oscars
most
thing,
comedians are, though, because
Yeah.
that's who they are in person. Like that's the reason why they're a comedian. It's because that's who they are in real life.
Mhm.
They're not an act. They're not in those movies. He's not really acting. He's just being himself.
Yeah, I think you can make an argument for that. But with the whole Oscars thing, the reason why he was put onto the Oscars, it was announced, I think, 3 days ago. And then yesterday, okay, so the thing is, he's the one who turned it down, which I'm happy is why he did it. Because internet trolls went and looked at his past tweets, and he had some very homophobic tweets. And that was 7 years ago. I think it's a very similar situation to the James Gunn situation. Kevin Hart will be fine. He will be
Right.
completely fine. This won't hurt his career at all. I think he handled it very well.
Yes, he did.
He did. I'm glad that he stepped down because mainly what he said in his tweet was he didn't want to distract from the night. I think that's the right thing to say. I think it was smart for him to do that. Kevin Hart will be fine. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. I would have dealt with Kevin Hart hosting the Oscars. That would have been interesting for me to have to sit through that. Just because, of course, I'm going to watch the Oscars. But yeah.
Yeah, well, and I'm obviously disappointed because Kevin Hart's stand-up stuff are really fun.
I'll watch his stand-up. I'll support him. I'll watch his stand-up.
They're
His
really
tweets, though,
funny.
not good. But 7 years ago, and the thing is, he apologized it so many times in the past. Same thing with James Gunn. But I think, especially because it was the Oscars of all things, I
Right.
think it was smart for him to step down. Even though
And
I think he could have
think-
apologized and stayed with it.
Right, and I think he could have, or not could have. I think he can. I bet you anything he'll be the host of the Oscars within the next 3 years.
Maybe. Or
I think he'll
don't-
get another
yeah.
opportunity. I think the deal was, look, I'm going to step down because of all this, not distract you guys. Just let this blow over, and in next year or the year after, let's do it again.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Kevin Hart will be fine, just like James Gunn will be fine. James Gunn is working on Suicide Squad 2. So Kevin Hart will be fine.
Right.
Like, if
Well,
they make a
and
Jumanji
Kevin Hart-
sequel, I think Kevin Hart will be in the Jumanji sequel. I don't think it'll hurt his career at all. So I think Kevin Hart will be fine. It's shouldn't have happened, but
It's just it's just so sensitive right now.
Yeah.
Everyone is so sensitive about everything right now, and
if
I
he
think
tweeted that now though, no, get him out of here.
right?
But 7 years ago,
7 years ago, it was a different world.
it was a different world, and also like still, he's apologized for it countless times. So
Right.
those tweets were not good. They were never good in any world. They were never good. But he apologized for it. He changed. I do believe that he did get better as a person. But yeah, I think he handled it very well. So respect to Kevin Hart, even though I don't like your comedy at all. I just want to say that because I thought my tweets were funny because I tweeted the same thing when he got kicked off that I did when he got put on the Oscars. Just all the upside down faces because I feel the same for both. So it's like, oh, he shouldn't have been put as a host for the Oscars anyways because I don't like him. But also when he got kicked out, oh, he shouldn't have been kicked out of the Oscars anyways.
Well,
So-
he wasn't. He stepped down.
He stepped
I think.
down. They threatened
you
to kick
know.
him out though
Yeah.
if he didn't apologize, but he apologized and stepped down. So
Right.
I think he did the right thing.
Yeah, and I like I said, he'll not only be fine, but I think he'll host the Oscars in a couple of years.
Yeah, I think it's
Eventually.
possible. I don't think 3 years, but maybe. Also, I'll just throw some names out there. There's one tweet that I liked. Key and Peele to host Oscars. I'd like that.
Who's that?
Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, the comedy duo.
Okay.
Saw on YouTube. Jordan Peele directed Get Out.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great option to host the Oscars. I don't know who they'll get. Even Tiffany Haddish. Get Tiffany Haddish to host it, even though she annoys the crap out of me anyways. No, that's a solid pick.
Right. Yeah,
But,
we'll see
yeah.
what happens. But the Oscars, I mean, my favorite part is just the opening, and then I don't really watch the rest. So
Yeah, the La La Land opening that year was fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, so that will be the podcast. A lot of Avengers talk. I did want to get to the Kevin Hart thing because that's probably like the biggest movie type news. But obviously, the Avengers is the big thing right now. The trailer reaction, I'll have to digest it a little bit more. Spider-Man Home, or what's the name of the movie? Spider-Man Far From Home. Trailer tomorrow. If we are able to, we will do a reaction video of both of us watching for the first time.
Yep.
So that will be out tomorrow. Also,
I gotta
see...
control myself tomorrow morning.
Yes, you do. It was actually really easy because I wasn't planning on watching this Avengers trailer anyways, but I said for the content, I'll watch it. So I could have made it. I know people in the comments are going to be like, no, there's no way. I'm typing on my keyboard. There's no way you would have done that. So
Well,
yeah.
you did do it for Star Wars Episode 8, which was
Yeah,
really
I
tough.
did not watch a single thing from episode 8, and I still hated the Canto Bite stuff just the same. So, yeah. Anyways. Also, one last thing is I will start reviewing stuff again. I wish I had more time because I wanted to talk about Ralph Breaks the Internet because I never got a chance to review it. I don't want to drag on the thing any longer. Maybe I'll type up something or put something on the channel. But yeah, I do see Bumblebee tomorrow night, so I'll be reviewing Bumblebee tomorrow. We'll have the trailer reaction as well tomorrow for Far From Home. And Aquaman, I see it a week early next week as well. So
can
I'll
I
have
come?
all those reviews. Can you come? If you want to, do you have Amazon Prime membership? You can get it. I'm sure there's still tickets. But yeah. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, check out the iTunes podcast feed, also on Podbean. Check out the channel, Talking Movies Podcast. We will be doing this weekly, hopefully, talking about some stuff. But yeah.
Well, and we'll probably be talking about Star Wars Episode 9 trailer here pretty soon.
Really? You think we're going to get an episode 9 trailer?
The rumor is it's this month.
I hate the trailer rumors. I
Along-
hated all the Avengers 4 speculation. I hated
Along
it.
with Frozen 2.
Frozen 2.
But
We're gonna
the reason
give
why
you-
the reason why we're gonna get a Star Wars trailer this early is because we didn't get a movie, and I think they need to kind of get the hype going,
Maybe
especially
like a little teaser, yeah.
especially in front of Christmas. to
Yeah.
sell some toys.
Oh.
Get that hype going again, because obviously the last movie came out in May, which it shouldn't have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a year since we got episode 8, and we're a year out from getting any other Star Wars thing. A trailer's coming out this month, I guarantee you.
Okay.
It's
Cool.
smart for
That's
them
your
in the
wild
marketing, marketing-wise, toy-wise, Christmas-wise. Even just for episode 7, that trailer came out a year before too. I guarantee you we get a trailer. The reason why we didn't get an episode 8 trailer earlier is because we got Rogue One.
Yeah.
So they were trying to hype up Rogue One.
But it's been a year and a half from Solo to episode 9, so it makes sense.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
Also,
that's why you need Star Wars, like December is for Star Wars, right? So
yeah.
they're gonna have something come out this month, which I'm very excited to see that trailer.
Mm-hmm. Also, to mention, we have Bumblebee tomorrow. I'm going to see and I'm going to review. Hopefully have my review up on Sunday. Also, Once Upon a Deadpool. Are you going to see that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it comes out on the 12th, so there's a 7 o'clock screening on the 11th. So I'll probably be watching and reviewing that as well. Because I didn't review Deadpool 2 on this channel when it came out.
I'll watch that instead of Aquaman.
Mm-hmm. And then December 14th, Spider-Man to I heard Aquaman is good! They're already working on a sequel. Did you hear that?
I still don't care.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been watching all the DCEU movies. I watched Batman vs. Superman, and I watched the theatrical cut. I did it.
Movie.
It's
Trash.
rough. So Into the Spider-Verse is also this week.
I'm so excited!
Mm-hmm. So I'll have, within a 1-week period, I'll be able to review Bumblebee, Once Upon a Deadpool, Aquaman, and Spider-Man to the Spider-Verse.
Nice.
It's going to be tiring. All right. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in all of that. Check out Bisto's channel, whatever channel he's on now. I don't know. We have like
None.
3. None? I'll put the link, maybe. So that'll be the podcast, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Tell me your thoughts on the Avengers trailer, all your speculation in the comments. Don't be rude and trolly, and yeah. Bye.